see them. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hi everyone. So today is 4th of July. Our gym is closed, so I am gonna be working out at home. It's actually quite late already. It is um it's almost 6. I was up until 3 a.m. doing my homework for my doctoral program, and I was also working on some work stuff since I was awake. And then I woke up this morning, cooked. I actually spent most of the morning cooking. We are all eating the same thing here at home. So basically, we are running out of food quite quickly. When I was the only one basically eating, chicken, rice, and veggies and stuff like that, it would, my meal prep would last like weeks. But Chad is eating the same thing, and Abby, especially, she is now running, being more active, trying to watch what she's eating. She's also eating what we're eating. So, but yeah, so I have to cook a little bit more often. So that's what I did most of the morning, and then I cooked, I ate, and then cooked some more. So what I cooked in the morning was more like preparing my meal for the day, and then after that I ate. After eating, I cooked um, food for hopefully for a week or two. And then after that, I went to meet with a coworker, and we are just working on things to get ready for the upcoming semester. And yeah, and then I came back home. I ate again. I usually eat before I lift. I need some sort of source of energy. I noticed that if I eat, I am able to perform better and feel better and recover better rather than not having anything in my stomach for a long time and then work out. That makes it a little bit more challenging. So yeah, so I just got done eating, and then so now I'm gonna work out. So today I am doing shoulders, and that's about it. I haven't walked that much because I've been at home most of the day. So after shoulders, I will be walking on a treadmill. I'm still thinking if I'm going to do cardio today. My cardio is only about 20 minutes twice a week. So I may do it tomorrow. We'll see. But most likely I will do it tomorrow. But yeah, so follow me, and this is actually our home gym. We don't have a lot, but I think we have enough to get by, especially when our gym is closed. We have a um, cable machine, so I love the cable machine because we can use it for so many things. And then we have a squat rack and a barbell, and then, sorry, it's a mess. Our home gym is a mess right now. We're using it as a storage too. But anyway, so we have some more weights there. These bars are here too. My husband uses it sometimes. And then we also have this, the block. Just makes it easier to adjust. But basically, this is what we have. This is a walking pad that I haven't really been using lately because we just got a treadmill, and our gym is quite small, so our treadmill doesn't fit here. So our treadmill is actually in my office. If you were paying close attention whenever I'm recording, it's actually behind me. So it is, it doesn't belong there. It's so random, right? Because it's an office, and then there's a treadmill behind, my chair. But that's the only place it can fit. And I didn't want to put it in the bedroom just in case I still needed to do cardio and maybe my husband's sleeping. I don't want to wake him up, or I don't want to wait until he wakes up or he's, not there to do my cardio. So I wanted to have that flexibility. So that's why it is in our office. But that's basically what we have. We used to have a rower, but we're running out of space. So I gave that away. We had an elliptical at one point. It was broken. It was, like the digital stuff were broken. I was just using it like manually. Um, but yeah, so this is what we have, and I really think that for the most part it does the job, especially as long as I don't have to do, some other movements like leg press. Now it is challenging if I decide to do my lower body exercises here because again we don't have the equipments that we have at the gym. But anyway, so follow along. And yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing, how I'm working out when the gym is closed. Okay, I got my mic. I'm usually lazy to use my mic, but I know sometimes the quality is not the best whenever I don't use the mic, so I'll try my best to use it as long as I remember it. I don't like putting it on me or clipping it because sometimes with the movements that I'm doing, it starts kind of scratching and causing some noises. So, anyway, bear with me, but I'll try my best to remember to use the mic. I don't know if I told you guys or I've ever mentioned it on social media, but my favorite workout is shoulder day. Yeah, so I love working out my shoulders. For the longest time, my upper body was pretty much imbalanced compared to my lower body. So my upper body was pretty small in comparison. And I am just so happy with my shoulder progress over the last maybe year, especially the last 6 months, because I've never had this shoulders before. I mean, right now it's not showing as much because I don't really have a pump right now. But yeah, shoulders, my favorite body part to work out. So whenever I'm working out, I usually start with my weaker side, and then followed by my stronger side. So what happens is my my strength imbalance is also pretty obvious. And I really felt it, especially when I first started working out. My left side is significantly weaker than my right, and you can actually see it in my physique if you pay close attention, especially back then, before probably like maybe a couple of years ago. But yeah, so I started. Well, I noticed that what works best for me to kind of help with that imbalance is to work out my left side first, because sometimes what happens is if I work out my right side, I can go, let's say I can do like 20 reps, and then by the time I do my left side, I can only do, let's say, 14, 16, and that's actually going to cause more imbalance, especially visually in my physique. So what I've been doing, I would try to max out my weaker side and then do about the same or less on my right side. Now, when I first started working out, and notice the imbalance, what I used to do is literally like purposefully do more on my weaker arm and do less on the right arm. And same thing with my lower body. So my left side, especially my glutes, I have a harder time activating it, and so it's weaker compared to my right side. But I noticed, especially maybe the last 3 months or so, they're actually starting to be about the same. And visually, there's not a huge difference anymore. But back then, I could tell the difference. But anyway, I'm gonna start working out now and stop talking. Last set was hard, but now you can start seeing the pump. Look at that. One of my favorite shoulder workouts ever is the Arnold press. I remember learning about it and learning how to do it probably years ago. Like, it's been, I learned about it maybe over 5, 6 years ago, or more. Probably about 6 years ago or so. But anyway, I thought it was a super cool movement. I remember Googling it. I was at the gym. I started kind of, you know, trying to lift weight. At that time, I still didn't know what I was doing. I mean, until now, I think I'm still learning. Definitely better now, but I remember looking it up, Googling it on my phone, watching videos because I wanted to, again, grow my shoulders. So I was like, okay, what is, I Googled it on my phone. I think at that time, did I have an iPhone then? But anyway, it's been so long. But I remember finding that workout and I thought it was pretty cool because it was a combination of movement. It wasn't just a straight up, and so I really thought, it was a cool movement to learn. But yeah, so that's one of my favorite shoulder workouts. But overall, I think I love using the cables for shoulders just because I feel like it helps. Sometimes with the weight, you don't really feel the resistance all the time, but I feel like with a cable, like regardless of the direction of the movement, you still have some sort of resistance that is consistent. I feel like with the dumbbells, gravity, right, can take over and it will be different going up versus going down. While on the cable machine, I feel like it's a little bit more consistent and the muscle stays contracted for longer, in my opinion. Just wanted to show, I don't know if it's obvious, but I'm starting to have a little bit of veins. Like, I mean, it's not really popping, but it's kind of like showing. Lighting is not very good here, but anyway, I was looking at the mirror, and I've never seen these veins before. And again, they're not popping, but I can see them. That's crazy. That's crazy. Actually, I have been online a little bit too much, so I was looking at all these competitors. Yeah, so NPC Universe just happened recently. I think it was today, and I was looking at the competitors, both bikini and fit model, and I can't help but to be. I guess it's. Can't think of a better word, but I'm a little jealous. I have never competed before, but I want to compete. Like, I really want to compete. That said, as much as I want to compete, I also don't want it to ruin my health, right? I wanted to do it safely. I want to do it in a way that's sustainable. I did have a conversation with my coach, and basically, just it was a brief conversation online, just talking about, like what it would look like if I competed, how much, it will change, what are the demands. But I guess the main takeaway from this is I have to be at a certain body fat percentage. I have to achieve a certain look to be competitive. And if I decide to do it sooner than later, right, I will be required to lose a lot of weight in such a short amount of time. And so that is really not ideal, right? Ideally, I need to lose weight gradually, and while losing weight, hopefully I can maintain most of my muscle mass, or if I can grow, that would be awesome, but that's kind of hard to do. But anyway, so just having a conversation regarding physical, like how it will affect me physically, but also mentally, right? So I really appreciate that about my coach. We talked about how, I have to have a certain mindset, right, in order to compete. And what I don't want to do is to compete just thinking, okay, if I at least compete, right, I will basically use that competition as kind of like a motivation or a goal so I can lose the weight really quickly. But then a lot of the time, if that's the type of mindset, you always kind of like rebound. And sometimes, competitors, especially if their mindset or is not in the right place, or they're probably not knowledgeable on how to reverse, or they don't have anyone to guide them, right? Usually they gain so much weight right after, and it doesn't really affect them in a positive way, right? It's gonna make them feel bad, but yeah. So I just really appreciated my coach for kind of like answering my questions. As much as I want to compete sooner than later, I have to reassess where I'm at, health wise, where I'm at habit wise, where I'm at mentally, and also like I have to look at the demands, right? Right now I'm still doing my doctorate, right? I'm still in school, I'm working full time, I'm a mom, right? I'm a wife. I feel like just with all the demands that I have, I already don't have a lot of time, not a lot of time for myself, not a lot of time for my family. And so adding that to my plate, I think is not the best thing to do at this time. And I also think that I want to do this long term, right? I want to maintain a healthy weight. I want to maintain this healthy habits. I just don't want to compete and then that's it, right? I want this to be part of my life. I am getting older, and so I feel like my priority, more than just competing, although competing is a big deal, right? It's something that I've always wanted to do. But my priority really is to do it in a healthier way, right? Because competing is not really as healthy as we think, right? Because especially with certain divisions, right? It requires such little body fat that that's not really how we are designed to function, right? But anyway, but yeah, so I'm here for the long term, I guess, benefits of it, not just for like a temporary competition and that's it. So it will take a lot longer, right, before I compete. Most likely, what's going to happen, I have to reach a certain weight and then we'll reevaluate where I'm at and then kind of say, okay, like what's the timeline, right? What's the timeline like? And then is it the right time? So, but yeah, but anyway, so yeah, as much as I'm so jealous, and I feel like, I mean, I'm not saying that I have a lot of mass, like, because I don't, but I feel like I'm not way far from those physiques. Obviously, I have more body fat right now, but I feel like I could be somewhat competitive. I'm not sure if I can make it like pro, but at the NPC level, I think I could somewhat be competitive. So anyway, I am excited. Before my reevaluation, my coach my coach and I discussed that I have to lose about 9 more pounds, and so we'll go from there. But I'm excited. I also want to see how much muscle do I really have underneath all of this, right? Because our body may look different once we lose that body fat. Because some people think, oh, I have a lot of mass, and then once they lose weight, they don't really have that much mass, the mass that they thought they had. So yeah, I'm excited.